So starting the test drive in this 2024 Kona SE, the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder is an adequate engine, especially when it comes to maximizing fuel economy. Paired with this IVT, you're gonna get pretty good numbers there. Now in terms of acceleration, it's not gonna feel as quick as the 1.6 turbo that you can find in the Limited, but again, there's a trade-off there because you're getting quite a bit better fuel economy with this engine as opposed to that 1.6 turbo. But to me, it's not as fun to drive with this intelligent variable transmission as opposed to the 8-speed that you can shift. Now, I've been driving the vehicle in normal mode, which I'll do for the majority of the drive until we get on the interstate. I'll try and put it into sport mode and then just show you how the quote-unquote manual mode works when I slap it over there and start shifting. But as of now, I mean, again, I think Hyundai did a great job making this vehicle look fantastic while keeping powertrains that we're pretty used to in the lineup. Now, the auto stop that comes with this definitely has been helping in terms of fuel mileage, just being able to come on pretty much every time I've stopped. Now, I'm not sure how it's going to act in sport mode, but in normal mode, didn't have an issue with the auto stop coming on. So I'm gonna leave it in sport mode for now. And I like how it revs. But I'm gonna go ahead and see how these, well, just see how this transmission does and how the engine reacts getting up to speed here on the interstate. Not gonna thrash it, but gonna give it a little something. So there's a cruise there. Now we just have the standard cruise control, but we do get the lane centering assistant, which does come in handy. And for someone like me, I like to be able to stay in the lines and not necessarily have to be 10 and 2 the entire time with the steering wheel, but I can still pay attention and brake when I see a vehicle getting closer than I would like to in traffic. But ride quality is pretty good. And over the Limited that I drove earlier, you just feel less in the steering wheel, of course, having these smaller wheels. Now, in terms of competition, I always think of the Honda, what is that, the HR-V? And I just think that this has pretty similar qualities to that vehicle, but this one definitely looks better as of now. Another competitor that I always forget about is gonna be the new Chevy Trax. Ford had that EcoSport, and I don't even know if they still make that anymore. The manufacturer's just kind of going with the wind. But I think this and the Trax are the two best options in this segment as of now. It's just personal opinion, just how they've kind of extended them, made them bigger on the inside, just made them more desirable, if you will, because the outgoing Kona and the outgoing Trax were just like, eh. They were cheap vehicles if you wanted them, but I mean, this new Kona looks beautiful. It looks fantastic. It looks like it belongs in Iron Man. And I mean, the styling is just, you can't beat that. But in terms of what you get for the money in this SE, you can save yourself $10,000 as opposed to the Limited trim level that has all-wheel drive. And if it were me, I would just go with this just because I feel like you get your money's worth with this SE. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Hyundai Kona in the SE trim level.